Let's say something nice about your teammates since they're right beside you.
Oh, these guys?
Yeah.
Gimmick's nuts, Torment's nuts. There you go.
And yourself? What do you have to say about yourself?
I'm good sometimes.
With 2 separate LAN victories and a regional championship under their belt, at this point it's pretty hard to deny that CLOUD9 is the best Rocket League team in the world. They've proved themselves in every way, and it really doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon. How has CLOUD9 been able to dismantle so many powerhouse teams? What is it about the way they play that just works so well? And how have they won the last 3 major tournaments with such ease? It's like nothing can faze them at this point. In my videos, I've looked at some of the more exceptional players, and I've tried to give some of the ways that we can learn from them. So I thought that it would be interesting to look at a team and see if there are some things that we can learn. I know that a lot of you have your own teams, and I'm hoping that this video can help you guys get a better sense of what teamwork looks like in Rocket League. In order to make this video, I went back and watched CLOUD9's games from DreamHack Atlanta, the RLCS NA Regional Championship, and then the Northern Arena LAN. I'm sure there's even more to be learned from them, so if you've noticed anything that I missed, be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Also, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more like it. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Squishy, Gimmick, and Torment all implement different playstyles. This is a pattern among great teams from the past 2 years. Yes, everybody needs to be able to do everything, and obviously do it well, but great teams do have those players that specialize in certain areas. Squishy and Gimmick play more aggressive, especially Gimmick, and they score a majority of the team's goals, while Torment stays back a bit more and keeps the pressure by continually forcing the ball back into their opponent's half. Some have called this the anchor position. The anchor is that one player who sort of directs and guides the rest of the players from the backfield. This makes communication a lot simpler. Really, the anchor is the only person who needs to communicate, and he communicates mainly when he's leaving that 3 position so that one of the other players can fall back. The other 2 players basically default to making passes and shooting. Now obviously this can be a detriment if you're never having players rotate back to the 3 position, mainly because that rotation is what gives your team that momentum to attack. If the same players are attacking over and over again, they're going to run out of boost. It's often easier for the back player to attack the ball because they have a better angle, and they should have more boost. Where different playstyles really come out is in that transition from defense to offense. Players like Gimmick and Squishy are always looking for passes when another player is clearing the ball, whereas more defensive players default to rotating in behind in case things don't go as planned. If you do have a team that you play with consistently, it's actually worth going back to your replays and watching from their perspective. What kind of playstyle do they have, and how can you help them play that playstyle even better? Who knows, you might actually learn something from watching them too. This begs the question, if each player has a different playstyle that may either be more offensive or defensive, how does this affect rotations? Because we know that just sitting in one position definitely isn't the answer. That's how high-level Rocket League worked when the game first came out, but players soon realized that you can actually create significantly more pressure if everyone is moving in and out of the various roles. There is a sense in which players default to different positions. So if you're in the best position to attack the ball, it doesn't matter what your playstyle is, you should attack the ball. But if your teammate is a better shooter and likes to play more aggressive, and they would normally be rotating back to the 3, maybe your team is better off leaving them up front to go for that shot or be ready for a pass. Even if certain players like to shoot or pass more, everyone needs to be rotating through the 1, 2, and 3 positions. I've put a link to my second video on how to play Rocket League in the description below. In that video, I go into more depth about how rotation works and what these various positions are. So if you're interested, you can just go check that out. Because CLOUD9's rotations are so smooth, they aren't afraid to have their third man leave that 3rd position and take a shot or make a pass. Often the person with the best chance of scoring is the one farthest back. This is something higher level teams do really well. Each player is always moving in and out of different positions based on where the ball is and where the opponent is. And each player is ready to transition to a different position on the field if the momentum changes. CLOUD9 is the best team in the world primarily because of their offense. That's clearly where they focus a lot of their energy. Gimmick won the Golden Striker accolade this season, and he tied with Squishy for the most assists per game. They dominated North America in terms of offense. This is because they play with incredible speed and aggression. They're not afraid to leave one of their players down in the opponent's half to receive a pass, and because they know they can beat most players to the ball, they just aren't afraid to go for shots. I've noticed that the main thing that keeps me from playing well is hesitation. When I'm hesitating or always defaulting to defense, I'm unable to create any sort of pressure. In threes, you really shouldn't have any fear going for the ball, if you're at least somewhat spread out. It really doesn't matter if you double commit if you beat your opponent to the ball. I know this is oversimplifying things, but it actually really helps me. Just position yourself where you need to be and beat your opponent to the ball. It's simple, but that's basically the difference between lower and higher level Rocket League. If a team is beating you by a ton, it's because they're beating you to the ball. If you're in a rut as a team, try just forgetting about defense altogether. Obviously, you'll still need to play defense, but make your focus offense and stop worrying about what will happen if you lose that 50-50 or you miss a shot. Take every opportunity for a pass or a shot. Beat the other team to the ball, rotate as fast as you can, and you'll find that you'll create so much offensive pressure, the other team will struggle to even break out of defense. This is one of the main things CLOUD9 does to win games. Playing aggressive does not mean playing out of control. What you want is to have a controlled aggression. Uncontrolled aggression is basically just ball chasing, and it's here that you end up having double commits. This may sound kind of weird, but I like to think of it like you're on the prowl, like you're a cat waiting for your opportunity, and when it happens, you just pounce on it. Try thinking of it this way the next time you watch the pros play. They're not just driving around, they're always positioning themselves where they need to be in case the opportunity to attack arises, and when it does, they don't hesitate, they just go for it. I think this is a helpful way of thinking of aggression in Rocket League. As I spent the last few days watching CLOUD9's games, one of the main things that stood out to me was their ability to make plays happen because of their passes. They are incredibly intentional about their shots, and they always know where their teammates are. Sometimes you just need to be the first person to the ball, and you really can't worry about hitting it to your teammates. In that situation, your teammates need to be watching you hit and position themselves accordingly. But there are times where you have an uncontested hit, and just clearing it as hard as you can really isn't the best option. CLOUD9 likes to make lots of smaller infield passes, and it's clearly worked for them. Creating pass plays is often not so much about the person passing, but the person receiving the pass. I'll get into this more when I make a video on passing, but for now, just try to get used to looking for passes. Make it easy for your teammate by putting yourself in a place where they can actually hit the ball to you. The last thing I want to talk about is CLOUD9's overall mentality. Squishy Muffin's original team was Iris, and it consisted of Lachinio, Torment, and Squishy, with Gimmick as the sub. Going into Season 3 of RLCS, they were the #1 seed in North America, having won virtually every tournament up until that point. But they ended up failing to make it to league play in Week 2 of the qualifiers. The team reformed as the Muffin Men, with Gimmick as a starter, and they came back stronger than ever coming into Season 4. They definitely weren't one of the talked about teams going into the DreamHack Atlanta tournament, but they managed to beat virtually every powerhouse team from NA and EU, and they ended up beating Gale Force in the finals. Something about that experience of losing in the qualifiers when they really should have made it all the way to the LAN shaped them as a team. Listen to what Squishy had to say after it happened.
It's really tough. I don't think a lot of you realize how hard that is to really grasp. The amount of time put in, and then just like one off day and it's all gone. Like, it feels pretty shitty, to be honest. There is no worse feeling, I think, in this game than that right there. Like when you play that last game of that final series and you're just like, man, I'm not gonna be playing in RLCS for a couple months, and I gotta just sit back and watch everybody else. Now what I'm gonna do from here on out, stop playing would be the worst thing. Continue and use this energy and this, I don't even know what to call it, sadness, I guess. I don't know. Just use what I have right now and what I learned from not making it as power to make it to the next one, and just try to just improve on all my errors and everything I've done wrong. That way next time I don't do the same things, I don't make the same mistakes. Because I know we're a great team, and I know we can do great things. We just gotta get more consistent and get up there again.
I think they needed this experience as a team to be able to come back with more drive and a better work ethic and a better outlook on the game. As a team, they're no stranger to being down in a series, but at this point, nothing seems to faze them. I can't stress enough how important your mentality is for being successful in any sort of competitive environment. If one of your teammates lets a goal in or you lose a game, and that just sets you off, you're never going to improve because you'll miss every opportunity to learn as a team. I know a lot of you don't take this game that seriously. I definitely don't always, and that's fine. But for the most part, I really do just want to improve, and I know a lot of you are in that place as well. The best opportunity for improvement is not when you're playing well or beating everyone. It's when you're in a rut, when it doesn't feel like you're doing anything right. Those are the places where you learn the most. If you've just lost a game, that's good. That means you have more to learn and more areas to improve in. Just quit making excuses, quit blaming people, and go figure out where you need to improve. Alright, I hope you guys liked this one. Make sure to give it a like if you did. Until next time, peace out.